Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Maker. During the last part, I covered 6 levels from the Mega Maker official subreddit's weekly level sharing thread for August 23rd through August 29th. So in this part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 more levels from that same very thread. As I felt I didn't really cover enough levels in the last part, plus blowing through the trees took a lot longer than I expected it to be, and I wanted to cover at least 2 more levels. So instead I'll be covering at least 5 to 6 levels in this part. Also, in between this and the previous part, the game was at last updated to version 1.0.4.1. I kind of found it odd that for the first week we got 3 updates in rapid succession and then we had no updates for a week, at least from my perspective. And this update fixed a whole slew of bugs. You might want to go to the download page of Mega Maker and check the update or changelog to see what all the fixes were. Unfortunately, we still don't have a volume slider for the music and sound effects yet, even though that many other Mega Man fan games nowadays have them. So kind of odd there. Still, a lot of bugs are fixed. Also, the random levels option is still broken, I think, unless it's an unlisted fix. Also, we now have the pointer enemy from Mega Man 10 as our mouse. It's fitting, and I kind of find it odd it wasn't there initially, but better late than never, I suppose. Alright, time for the first level. I'll always keep this mouse cursor on from here on out for this Let's Play because it fits more. Okay, first level in this is Tele-Block Tower by MikeMichaelMic. 13 plays and a score of 2. Oh yeah, and another really big fix that I forgot to mention right now is also the fact that optimization of this game has been really improved, especially for larger stages, so hopefully they shouldn't lag as much as they did before. So when I eventually get back to some of the bigger stages, or when I get to the viewer submitted levels section or part, there are certain levels that will benefit from it heavily. Hopefully there will be no more stuttering like we saw in Sparkman Redux or in Clock Tower. Those were the worst, especially Clock Tower, where it really hampered performance in some of the precise platforming. Okay, this is teaching you about how we'll need to use the teleporters to get across. We have sliding and we have the Mega Man 5 or 6 charge shot. Also, something else that I didn't really show here, you can actually now skip the intro cutscene for every level by just pressing the start button. I really appreciated the developers did that. Now it won't feel so repetitive and there won't be so much dead air in the introduction for each level stage. After all, we saw the bosses repeatedly over and over, so it's not really necessary to see the intro spiel over and over. This is a one-way teleporter that self-teleports here, and this teleports upwards and goes to this segment. From the description, it seems that this is going to be a maze where you have to choose the correct path of teleporters in order to climb this tower. Nothing too bad so far. Really appreciate that the level designer is teaching the player how to properly go through these segments, with tougher enemy configurations and of course all these Galaxy Man platforms. Now, as I repeated my disclaimer over and over, I'll just leave the full one in the description below. But the laconic version is that I apologize if my critiques sound a bit harsh. I'm doing it so that we all become better level designers as a whole, because making good or even decent Mega Man levels is a lot harder than it looks. That's for sure. I learned this the hard way in the Megamble 1 tournament, as well as Megamble 2. And I'll be grading these stages based off of a bunch of different things. Oh, I completely messed that one up. I'll be grading it on terms of level length, challenge and difficulty progression, whether gimmicks and enemies are introduced in a good progression, whether the stage lengths versus checkpoint placements are good, is it unique enough, and is the level... Oh, that's my fault too. And is the level long enough, or is the level too long relative to the number of gimmicks and challenges that are introduced? All those sort of things. But keep in mind that many of my opinions will... Sorry, that was my fault. Many of my opinions will also be based off my personal preferences on Mega Man stages. And I will treat different types of Mega Man levels in this engine differently compared to others. Like, I'll definitely treat traditional Mega Man levels differently compared to challenge levels, fortress stages, gimmick levels, Kaizo levels, etc. I think they should all be treated differently and evaluated in their own merits, or own different merits. Wait a minute. Oh, that was the trick. Otherwise you'll just fall right in the pit there. Neat. Just need to hold left here. Okay, now we have the Yoku blocks. I don't have any special weapons, I only have my slide and charge shot. So I gotta be careful, especially with the beak running over here. That was my fault for forgetting. Oh, there's the E-Tank. At least there's a checkpoint right over here because the designer thought players were going to die. Oh, why did that Shadow Man platform not actually spawn in at that time? That would have been really appreciated. Oh boy. Yeah, that didn't warp in it the first time, for some reason. Oh, that was a bit of a close jump there, especially with the hitboxes. To be fair, with spikes for more square-shaped spikes, it's not too bad, but for the more angular type, it's a lot more difficult. One-way teleporter here. Oh, of course, Yoku blocks. Ow. Oh no, I'm just gonna stay here. Where does this lead up to? Oh, okay, so I failed the teleporter challenge. I see what I need to do here. Got hit by the beak though. Neat level gimmick as well with all the teleporter mazes. Oh, failed that one. Well, at least the threat of instant death isn't too bad, and there is a checkpoint nearby. Okay, I got it this time. It's just once you see that Yoku block appear, there's not enough time to actually teleport out. Jump into the teleporter to get across, that's the problem. I'll definitely have to clip this up so you don't see me repeatedly fail this over and over. My fault for not going fast enough. Boy, this stage really promotes you to go fast and actually learn the patterns of the Yoku blocks. At least there are frequent checkpoint placements, so I'm not complaining about it too much. There we go. Oh no, not instant death force beams. I need to make sure I never tap the jump button so I can get across safely. Oh, I see. Oh, no. Okay, this challenge wasn't too bad. This is where things are going to be a bit problematic, it seems. Oh, I should have waited. I should have known. Okay, I made it past that segment. It was quite a precise one, and it was filled with a lot of failures, that's for sure. Oh no, I'm gonna wait that. I think I almost mistimed that. This stage had a lot of deaths, that's for sure, but I really appreciate the level designer's checkpoint placement. There should have been one in between this and the previous one, but otherwise I like the stage. Certainly a more challenge-based one, especially near the end with some of the timing-based jumps, or timing-based teleportations, but otherwise it was pretty fine. I'll have to cut this up a lot so you don't see all the deaths. And of course, you don't really need to hear most of my commentary because it is rather repetitive. But the gist of it is that this stage starts out pretty easy, nice introduction of gimmicks, that's for sure. wow, I didn't realize Napalm Man can be jumped that far. Nice introduction to gimmicks, good checkpoint placement, and I really appreciate how, even though it's a challenge-based level, it's not too punishing. Let me see how far Napalm Man can jump over there. Good thing he can't jump over this. Yet. And let's end this. Yeah, definitely a fun stage, and this boss room is pretty fun, because you can use the teleporters to jump to the opposite side of the room and completely avoid Napalm Man's attacks. Not to mention, we can use all the springy platforms in order to jump across, but of course, Napalm Man can do the same. And I didn't realize Napalm Man can jump that far. He can jump at quite an extreme distance. Napalm Man never had that extreme jumping power, that's for sure. Otherwise, I enjoyed this challenge-based level. It wasn't as difficult as blowing through the trees, but then again, we didn't have a kind of a more finicky or momentum-based NATO to use. It's a pretty fun stage, nice level progression of difficulty, starting from easy teleporters to more difficult ones, and nice checkpoint placement for the most part. Like I said though, the main problem was I got stuck in some of the timing-based challenges around the mid to late part of the stage, but after I memorized it, it got pretty good. It was pretty fine. I believe the stage would be a lot more frustrating if you had a limited number of lives, but with an unlimited number of lives, it's fine. So good job, MikeMichaelMc or MC Cubed. Next up is Invade the Base by Overlord SB, 18 plays and a score of 9. That seems pretty good. I'm gonna skip the intro because we know enough of it. It's going to be Top Man. Okay, we're teleporting right in the middle of this base. We start at the water segment, it seems. We have the Mega Man 4, Charge Shot, Rush Coil, Mega Buster, and Slide. Okay, base Mega Man 4. Now we're in the base. I believe we've gone through the waterways, or are going through the waterways. Okay, I see what you want me to do here. I need to time my jumps correctly using the water spout so I can get higher. Neat introduction. Oh, I'm forced to use Rush Coil over here. Not too much of a problem. And use Rush Coil again to get across. Okay, fine. We are entering to the bottom, so I suppose we're in the bottom floors or basement level. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Darn, I missed that E-Tank. It shouldn't be too much of a loss. Now we're in Top Man segment. We have the Shotmen. Nothing too problematic. Really appreciate the designer always put enemies nearby, or a large weapon capsule so we can refill our Rush Coil energy. After all, if there's forced weapon usage, there should always be some weapon capsule farming locations, or weapon capsules that you can pick up so we don't get soft-locked or something. I'm curious, what's on this side? Nothing. I'm gonna go for this M-Tank, especially because there's a checkpoint there. I was expecting there to be a Yoku block which would just telefrag me, but apparently not. Okay, now we have the Top Man platforms. It's not in a too difficult configuration, that's for sure. And thankfully there's no ceiling that we have to worry about. A really straightforward stage and not that many deaths, actually. In fact, we're fighting Top Man right now, so... Okay, he's quite immune to pretty much everything. So we just need to destroy the middle and he'll just fall down. Okay then, that was Invade the Base, a rather straightforward and simple stage, but I liked it. It was certainly a nice breather in comparison to the stage that was Tele-Block Tower. So nice job, Overlord. Simple stage, but pretty fun. Also good checkpoint placement, but I feel like this stage could have a little bit more meat and length. Third level on the lineup is Cutman Forest by DragonsBrethren. 21 plays and a score of 11. Let's see what this level has to offer. Napalm Man stage team, and we have the Plantman Forest background. Silver Tomahawk, Rush Coil. Okay, we have Mega Man 2 physics, but the special weapons are otherwise. So I guess we're entering a remixed version of Cutman. Okay, now we have the Shotman that we have to worry about, which I can easily just deal with by using the Silver Tomahawk. At least try to deal with. Nice usage of all their springy platforms and how the enemies keep bouncing on top of them. I really enjoyed how in Mega Man 6 we had those bouncy cannons which could bounce off of the springs in Plantman stage, and I really like this game really took this concept and took it further. How any enemy can bounce off the bouncy platforms now. This looks oddly suspicious. I was right. Oh no. That's bad. I could have made it if I edged nearer the edge of the platform, but I didn't. Well, I guess I'll have to speedrun up my way back then. Thankfully, it's not too far back. Okay, and the checkpoint was right over there. I should have gone to the right first. Now we have the springy platform segment and all of these crushers, which seem to just fall just when I should have held right. I got spooked by that enemy. They seem to drop just in front of you though, not directly below you. As demonstrated right here, they're just there to scare you, or to force you from going forward. Oh, I see how it's getting harder. Now there are the spikes that you have to worry about. As long as I don't hold A, I'm fine. Now I just need to do the jump. And I held right before I held down the A button. Of course I can always just damage boost and fall on the spikes anyway. Really would have liked the charge shot because it really speeds up the flow of these stages. Thankfully there aren't that many shielded enemies, so the loss of the charge shot isn't really as painful. After all, with shielded enemies, not having the charge shot the absence of a charge shot makes going through shielded enemies a lot more painful or a lot more noticeable. No thanks, I don't need a tomahawk, so I can just get by without it. And now time for the boss fight against Cutman, whose weakness I believe is the silver tomahawk. No? Nothing then. Okay, he has the same knockback problem as he did in Mega Man 1. So just rapid fire, he can still fire his rolling cutter. That's gonna be a slight problem. I forgot, I have the M-Tank. I should have used that earlier. As long as he doesn't double hit me again, I should win this. And that was the end of Cutman Forest. Pretty fun stage, nice difficulty progression. The only difficulty spike was in that last spring segment. But that was due more to my incompetence more than anything else. So good job, Dragon. Fourth level on the lineup is Laser Racer by Probably Luke. 5 plays and a score of 0. Oh boy. If the title is accurate, I suppose we will be racing force beams or something. That doesn't inspire me with confidence, that's for sure. The Mega Man 2 Wally 1 stage team doesn't really give me confidence either. We have the top spin, and I suppose we have... No, we don't have the charge shot, but we can slide. Mega Man 3 physics then. Okay, we have to race that laser then. Good thing there are no enemies yet. I hear it coming. Oh no, I wasn't fast enough. Okay, it's gonna be one of these challenge-based stages. If I keep getting stuck on a certain point, I'm just gonna end the stage early or just use the level editor to skip ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'll have to end this stage early. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this. The timing for at least this one is way too tight, and if it holds through, there's no way I'm going to do this. Sorry. Sorry probably, Luke, but this is one of those stages I'm not going to be equipped for, and my commentary and critiques are not going to be worth your time. My apologies. Alright, 5th level on the lineup is Bomb Tower by Lord Helsing07, 12 plays and a score of 1. My apologies for Laser Racer, but like I said, these type of stages I already know from a lot of my time looking at her stages and videos of Mega Maker. These ones I'm not well equipped for, and if I try showing it I'm just going to repeatedly fail over and over, and I will not be able to show the stage in its best light. Maybe I'll revisit the stage in a future part and show off the design of it, but I can't really show it off in gameplay, and that's the most important half of level design, personally speaking. Not just the design, but how it actually... Not just the static design, but how it actually works out in a real gameplay environment, so my apologies. I assume that Laser Racer would be better for players looking for more of a challenge, and who can race through the stages like speedrunners, but me, I can't do it. The timing is too precise. Okay, we have a bunch of special weapons, can slide with Mega Man 5 or 6 physics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Neat. This is going to be Bomb Man stage, I suppose. A lot of enemies here. Good thing we have the charge shot. What else do we have? Windstorm. You know, I haven't really seen Windstorm being used that much, if you ask me. Oh, I almost forgot there were force beams there. I mean, count bombs. Oh, this is going to be one of those stages with a lot of enemies, or almost enemy spam, or enemy spam, depending on who you ask. At least I have a bunch of special weapons I can use to just get through all these challenges, and I'm at the really powerful Mega Man style. Mega Man is very well equipped, and he has the charge shot, so I should be able to survive this, hopefully. If I play all my cards right. And I have the Mega Man 5 charge shot, so it'll never lose it upon taking a hit. That's really good to know. Really want to deal with those caterpillars first, because they're so annoying. Oh darn, I was hoping I had the Rush Coil or Magnet Beam. It'd make going through these segments so much easier. Oh, I forgot. I didn't realize there was something on the right over there. Oh, I thought I wouldn't make that jump. Okay. Thank you for putting a checkpoint over there. Yep, I guess this is going to be the enemy spammy stage of this part. But like I said, we're really well equipped, so I don't mind it too much. So I will just spam my special weapons over and over to get to this part a little bit easier. So I'm not too complaining. If the developer didn't really give me as many weapons as they do now, I would definitely be complaining a lot more. That's for sure. Oh, I always so love it when I can use the Firestorm against the wall and easily dispatch of all those, big eyes. Or, of course, I could have just jumped on top of all these count bombs and across, regardless. Force beams. I'm just gonna use the Thunder Beam and easily dispatch of all these enemies first. Or, of course, I could have just damage boosted off of all of them, now that I think about it. Oh, well. Come on. Thank you, damage boosting. Oh no, I got trapped over there. Still, regardless of all the deaths, I don't mind dying all this time. The checkpoint placement is rather fair, and despite the enemy spam, we have a lot of special weapons to deal with most of the threats, so I'm not really complaining. I just need to figure out how to get past this challenge, though. Yoku blocks, glitchy Yoku blocks. That was sort of fixed there, but it wasn't glitchy actually. It didn't telefrag me there, it just shunted me upwards. That's a lot more accurate behavior. Thank you for putting a checkpoint there. Really wish there was a spot I could dodge this Sniper Joe though. You know what, I'm just gonna kill myself over here so I regenerate all my health and go through this segment again. Considering all the enemy spam, well, it's gonna be necessary. The thing that's killing me the most in this stage isn't really the enemy spam. Well, maybe it is partially, it's more of the spikes. And tight quarters, I need to fight the enemies. Of course, the enemies are respawning too, which isn't helping matters at all. And of course we have the Mega Man 1 Mets, one of the most annoying variations. I keep hitting my head against this one block. There we go. Oh, there, and I've completely failed that one. I need to reset this. Really would like an extra life energy here. Really, please. Sure, I'll backtrack here. I need it more than anything else. It's really the tight corridors combined with these enemy jumps, or mainly the tight jumps, that causes me problems. Not to mention annoying enemies like all these Mets. Who are really annoying to hit from afar. Okay, got through this at last. Like I said, main problem is the tight jumps, more so, and combined with all the enemy spam. If there's one thing that would alleviate the enemy spam more, it would definitely be if we actually had the rush coil or something. Or the magnet beam at the very least. At last we're at the boss fight against Bomb Man with all of those tellies though. Let's see if they'll... Yep. The good thing of having all those tellies is that the designers can't actually turn off the telly's ability to drop all items. So I almost have a guaranteed chance of getting a life energy every time I kill a line of tellies. Speaking of which, let me actually figure out which special weapon is his weakness. Maybe it's probably the Magnet Missile at this point. You know what, I'll just finish this fight with... Actually, let me test it. Yep, it was the Magnet Missile. Of course, the weapon that would be the hardest to use against this boss. But that was Bomb Tower. A heavily enemy spammy stage combined with tight corridors, so I can't really give it a thumbs up. Because if you gave me the Magnet Beam Rush Coil, sure, I'll be fine. And I really like you gave me all the special weapons to utilize against these enemies. And I really should have used the Skull Barriers with all the spike platforming now that I think about it. But it was the enemy spamminess combined with the tight quarter platform which kind of brought down the stage for me. But otherwise, it was a pretty fair stage. I would say it's an average one. Next up is Cool Beans Stage by KingDukk, 4 plays and a score of 1. This is the 6th stage I'll be going through. Oh, also, one of the new updates in version 1.0.4 is that the green force prints had their own special sound effect. On Coldbean's tower, you need to go. There's only one enemy type, Shotman. The only thing we can do is basically slide. And we need to get across all of these Shotmen without dying or running out low on health. So we just need to figure out what the enemy patterns are and get across without losing all of our health, because we had to go through that life gate earlier. Let's see how long I'll be able to survive this forced pacifist stage. Of course, I still took a hit there. I'm definitely going to die here. This is a puzzle stage. True and true. After all, health is going to be limited here. The developer explicitly said that. Oh, I should have stayed a little bit more to the left. Yeah, I started out with about half the health. That's unfortunate. Let's see if I'll be able to complete this stage. I just need to wait over here and wait for it to start turning, and then I can get my way across. And wait for this to blow up. Now I can get across once this turns itself. And I still took a hit there. I was a bit too greedy. At least the Shotmen fire a constant stream of bullets, so it's not too bad, once you get used to the pattern. They always fire 6 shots before they change their firing arc, after all. I need to despawn this one. Oh, whoa, bit of a close one there. Okay, I'm backtracking my way over here. Quickly get across before this Shotman decides to turn. And there's the health, and here's the health refill. There's probably going to be another timed gate nearby. I'm going to be mostly silent throughout this stage because I need to count the number of shots and be precise so I can get by without dying. Oh, another force gate. I didn't have enough health to get by. Alright, I made it past this health gate check this time. It took about 4 or 5 attempts off screen, but I did it. I need to make sure I only took 3 or 4 pecks of damage from the shotmen. Well, this was certainly a unique puzzle-based stage. It was a combination of a forced pacifist stage, plus we have to be a bit more careful of where the shotmen can fire so we can get across without taking too much damage. And the stage still goes on, of course. Well, I think I already screwed up the challenge, so I will have to repeat it. Let me just restart the last checkpoint. At last, I'm at the end of the stage. I thought there was going to be one more health gate check. If there wasn't, I was going to damage boost a lot more through the stage. Oh my goodness, this was certainly one of the toughest stages I've gone through ever in Mega Maker. For the sake of precision and the fact we had to combine precision and timing so that we could actually properly keep enough health left over so we can get through the stage. This stage expects you to take force damage at certain points, so you really need to manage your health in order to survive. At least it feels like force damage. Maybe in every point you can get by without taking damage, specifically outside the health gate checks. But even then it's really precise. So I still like it, it's pretty well designed, but it's really difficult. It's really much more for advanced players and I'm surprised I got through it. It could have been a lot more punishing, like Laser Racer was. So good job, KingDukk. Now for the 7th and last stage of this part. There is a return policy by IYouBoushi, 5 plays and a score of 2. Hopefully it's not another challenge-based level. Really would appreciate it because I'm starting to get burned out and tired from playing more difficult stages like Tele-Block Tower, part of Laser Racer, and Cool Beans stage. That was my fault for not paying attention. Hopefully this is not another one of those stages which has low towers and ceilings everywhere. Okay, force weapon usage. Okay, we just have the Magnet Beam, Rush Coil, and this, sliding, and Charge Shot. Mega Man 5 or 6, Charge Shot. Force weapon usage of the Rush Coil here, I think. More Shotmen, but thankfully I can take my vengeance here. At least we didn't have the Shotmen Mach 3s in the previous stage in combination with the Shotmen Mach 1s from Mega Man 2. I'm just gonna run past through all these ball cannon segments. Okay, it's not as much of an enemy spammy level like the previous stage was. I mean, Bomb Tower was. And we're right at the boss fight for some reason against Napalm Man. Okay then. This was certainly a short stage, but it was certainly a breeze compared to the previous few stages, so I don't mind it. It's like Invade the Base was, but shorter. Well, I guess this was this stage. It felt like it was half a stage, or a third of a stage. It's like a nice baseline, but it needs to be taken further before it's completed, so I can't really rate this up or down. I would lean towards rating it down, but it's more so the fact it feels like a baseline of a level. Like it feels it needs to be at least twice repeating himself as long in order to be a full one. Well, I covered several levels in this part. Well, technically 6 levels. I skipped most of Laser Racer, so sorry about that. Oh boy, if there's one theme about this stage, it's that precision and timing is required, or this is more for advanced Mega Man players. Tele-Block Tower started out pretty easy, moderate, but game became quite challenging near the end, where we really had to time our jumps into the teleporters so we didn't get fragged by all those lasers. Invade the Base was a pretty easy stage, Cutman Forest as well, actually. Laser Racer was way too precise for my skill level. I could never get past the first screen. I had to cut off a lot of attempts. Bomb Tower also was a little bit more of a difficult stage, mainly due to all the enemy spam and the precise jumps, although that was also my fault because I didn't really use the skull barrier on those spike segments as well. Cool Beans stage also was a pretty challenging stage. In fact, I would say it's one of the more unique pacifist stages I've played so far, because you're forced to go through a level with just shotmen Mach 2s, and you have to learn their shot patterns, the fact that they fire 6 shots before switching where they fire, and then weave your way through all the bullets so you can get by. Especially because there are 2 health gate checks that you need to take care of so you can actually survive. And There's a Return policy only feels like a third of or half of the stage. Well, my favorite stage out of the bunch would probably be Invade the Base or Tele-Block Tower. Tele-Block Tower for being so unique, you're taking all of the teleporter gimmicks and putting them to a unique stage, despite all of the deaths I had. And maybe Invade the Base because it was a nice, fun, rompy level. All the other stages were like Laser Racer or Cool Beans were too challenging for me. Bomb Tower felt like it was a bit too enemy spammy without proper special weapons like the Rush Coil. And There's a Return policy, like I said, is too short. So, there's that. So in the next part, I'll probably be covering some levels from the official website's forum. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!